What is going on, guys? Welcome. Oh, you know what? We might want this one instead. No? Well, welcome to the stream here tonight. We're going to be playing some D&D through text. So, I realize that not everyone is logged in here and watching the show yet, but that's okay. We're gonna go to Twitch to make sure that we at least have one viewer, being myself. And I'm doing this to kind of just give you guys an idea of a way that you can play D&D even if you don't have... Hey, wish I could stay, but I have to... Oh, hey, beard! That's cool. What's going on, Sir Vanilla? Welcome to the stream, dude. So what we're doing today is we're just trying to teach all you people on the internet how to play an adventure of Dungeons and Dragons. But you're gonna do it through text. You're gonna do it through a text box. And how do you do that? Because the trouble is, for me at least, you're a gamer, you want to play games, but all your friends aren't available, and you don't have any time because they're busy doing life. Yeah, I'll catch you later, dude. Thank you so much for hanging out, Sir Vanilla. You know, you're stuck because you don't know exactly what you want to do because you don't have time for a traditional stream, like to hang out with you. Can't have them come over because of COVID issues. Still want to get a game in. Have other, like I said, you have other responsibilities like kids, wife, cleaning, all that stuff. So how can you play Dungeons and Dragons without anyone in the room with you, or even present with you? I'm going to show you how. It's going to have to all happen through text, and that is a very strange thing. I've read stories of people doing it before. It always seems very backwards and strange. And it is, I think, in some sense, because the game wasn't really designed to be played in this fashion. But one way that I would bear in mind for those that are wondering how do you even get this thing done is one of the reasons why it attracted me is you can do a lot in a textual form of the game than you can around the table. So one of the things that I found that was really interesting as I played now for about 2 or 3 weeks is that in a roundtable setting or live setting, you kind of are stuck with whatever the dungeon master says off the cuff. You're kind of stuck with whatever they are able to spontaneously provide amidst all the research that they had before the game time, right? But one of the cool things about playing through text is you have a lot of time to kind of think out your responses to the player's actions, and you can adjust the adventure really to kind of fit whatever they are doing without feeling like they're going to get railroaded, because Dungeon Master often wants to railroad the party so that it can be contained and easy to understand and so on and so forth, so that everyone stays together. You know, the often adage in D&D is that you don't want to split the party. But given that it is a text adventure, and the party can decide to do different things, it changes the way that you want to play the game, and it allows for, especially in the investigation portion of the adventure, it allows for splitting the party and letting people do different things and learn different things, and it comes off as a little bit more natural life. You know, whenever the party comes to a new town, they don't always stick together at the hip. They go out and do different things separately. That's what you do whenever you go visit someplace, you know? And then the group always, at the end of the night, agrees to come back to the same place. So that is something that I've really enjoyed, and it's something that we're going to see in a minute here, is how you can, through text, you can split the party without it being a problem at all. and then later on reconvene at the end of the night. So that is kind of something that we're going to get into. So I think that's a bit of what is going on. Hey, what's going on, Just a Guy? I was just going to start talking about how to do the text adventure through Discord and through a text chat. So I'm kind of just doing this to record, maybe put this on YouTube and let people see what it's all about. So if you'd like to, you'll get to see part of yours. Your actions are going to be thought up and spit out on my end, and you're not going to see too much of into the future, but you'll at least get kind of a little bit of behind the curtains preview of how this whole crazy thing is done anyways, you know? So, welcome, dude. Thank you so much for coming in. I'm glad that you're here. Let me show you, I got this awesome camera here. Hey, what's up, 57th Incident? More D&D curious than a player at this point, but I imagine a text dungeon taking an eternity if you're waiting for a DM and multiple party members to take their turns. It is a bit slower, that is absolutely for sure, 57th. Combined of both recording and talking to chat. Yeah, this will be an interesting session. We've been playing now for... How long have we been playing for? About a week and a half? Well, I think about a week and a half, and we've gotten through, I'd say, three adventure, like one combat encounter, and then three non-combat encounters. I guess that's probably the best way to say it, you know? So a lot of information gathering. The adventure is just about to get started. They have just got all the player hooks in, and now now the players are starting to gather information and try to figure out where the best place to head off into to really get this adventure underway. So let me show you what I have going on here. This is what the adventure that we are going to be talking about. So do you still have a scheduled block of time where everyone is expected to be online? I don't have. I have just said morning and evening. So morning and evening, or morning and night. And to the best of my ability, I respond to the players in the morning, and I respond to the players at night. And in general, that's worked pretty well. Not everyone has, including myself, has been able to do the adventure at the exact time that is required, but it is what it is, you know. I mean, it's kind of a growing pains, you know. Just learning things is the issue. So, anyways, if you don't want to know, Just a Guy, what is happening in this adventure, you can pause the video here, come back later, or you can just ignore what I'm about to say. But at least the adventure that we're going through is the first adventure in the Tales of Yawning Portal. Let me turn this music down just a hair. It's pretty loud. I think this is probably where we want it. Tell me if that music's a little bit more appropriate. I think that's about where we want it, yeah? So we're going through this first adventure here. It is called... Right here, let's look here. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see all this, but yeah, that looks pretty good, I'd say. So the first adventure here is the Sunless Citadel. I'm either not on or don't know what to do, that or something else, but those who are my two main reasons I don't respond next. Oh, I see what you're saying. Either I'm not on or I don't know what to do, that or something else. But those are my two main reasons why I don't respond in text adventures. I see what you're saying in the text adventure tab. So if you guys don't know, Just a Guy is a adventure in our... He is a hero in the adventure that we are playing in the Discord. So if you'd like to join into the Discord, you can do that. Just click the link that he just opened up for you, and we can consider you adding you to the party. So anyways, this is the adventure that we're going through, and if you don't know, it is a first to 5 level, I believe, 1st through 5 level adventure about a mysterious castle that is, and it has a castle in it, or a citadel, and it has this mysterious trees and goblin attacks and all this kind of fun stuff. So the adventure starts out in this town of Oakenhurst. I renamed it to Oakenfirst just so that I could kind of throw off a lot of anyone that knew the adventure. I just changed some of the names around. Nothing too crazy. There is the Old Boar Inn right here. It says Old Boar Inn, but I named it to Old Owl Inn. Again, just renaming some things just so that it feels like it's a little different. And the way that they get the adventures going here is they have these adventure hooks. And there's this rescue mission that they want. There's this rescue mission right here. And I combined this section with the solving a mystery section here. And instead, the adventure wants the DM to start it in the town, and I decided that it wouldn't make sense to do that because it would be a little too forced. So instead, I made the adventure, the group go on a task to go to the town itself and deliver a letter. So that way, they would be kind of invested in getting to the town itself, and then happening upon a broken wagon along the way, and happening upon getting attacked by some of the creatures that they're going to see in the future, and then not knowing how any of those things are related at all. Then when they get to town, everything starts to come and fit into line. It's like, oh, I understand now why these twig blights attacked us. I understand now why these goblins attacked us. I understand why we found that wagon. Everything makes sense now that we've come to town, because the town people will tell players or the PCs about whose wagon that was, and everything else is involved with that. So that's kind of where we're going with this so far. So I combined both of these, the rescue mission and solving a mystery. What I've been doing is I've been running, this is the first real section of the dungeon that they'll be going through, and then we have just page by page sections of this adventure. So again, it's not huge, but I'm guessing that this thing's gonna take I don't know, maybe like 2 months of text, but I've enjoyed it so far. We'll see how it goes, man. This is my first time doing it, so I mean, it is what it is, right, guys? So one of the, like I was saying earlier, one of the things that is so awesome about playing through text compared to a regular table is that you can really spend your time talking and thinking out what you want to say. So what I'm going to do now is present to you guys. I'm going to present to you what we have from our players. So let me go show you what that looks like. Okay, so now that we're over looking at the Discord, and move this like that. That doesn't. Oh. Okay, cool. So it's gonna be hard for you guys to see what's going on here, but basically, in your whatever form you're using, I have kind of devised it in this fashion. So I have a Dungeons and Dragons tab where we have a tab called the text adventure, and this is where the players and I, the dungeon master, always speak to the adventure itself. We pretty much treat it as a in-game only space. So you don't talk about your favorite foods here. You don't talk about what your player, what you think. You only say what your player thinks. That's kind of the idea, right? Then we have another tab here called Out of Character Chat, and that is where, in general, you would say what you think, not your player, and anything related to questions about the game, anything like that, right? Next, I have the DM screen, and that is where I do a lot of rolls behind the table. I also let people know when I'm processing the story and how it's gonna change or how I'm gonna respond. Once I usually put processing once everyone has provided their actions, then I respond with that within the next part. Lastly, I have a section here called PC creation, and again, that's just purely for helping people speak about their characters, and if it also is great for dumping their PDFs so that I can review them, look at them, give suggestions, whatever. And then, of course, if you are able to play with your friends through Discord, you can just have a voice channel, and then talk the game through there. But again, the whole point is that we're not going to do that. So, okay. So, with that being said, we're gonna look at this text adventure. So where we last left off in the adventure is the voice. Is it back up? Yeah. It's just another way to do it, right? If you're all able to talk at the same time, then you can just play D&D. No need to see the dice rolls in line with what's happening. Not yet, but I do have this here, so we will be rolling some dice in a little bit here. So if we were to show you this here, I have my dice tray, so we can start rolling, just so that you guys can see any dice rolls, which is pretty cool. But I don't have any need for them just yet. I will be in the future using them. So yeah, I rolled a 1, so unfortunately I don't have it's not being applied to anything just yet. So okay, so like I said here, we're gonna look at what's been going on here. So we have this character here. Traveler is one of the adventures. Ninja is playing this dragonboard called Traveler. He says here, finishes breakfast with the party, and then they resume to deliver the letter to the mayor. Along the way, the party stops at the general store to see what they can buy to resupply from the travel from Luskan. Hey, what's up? What's going on, Ghost of Paladin? Welcome back. How's everything been? Doing great. I'm just teaching people how to play Dungeons and Dragons through text. So it's an interesting way to play. I've been experimenting with it, and yeah, it's pretty neat. I've had a lot of fun. Just a Guy here is one of the adventurers in the party. We also have Ninja and Silver Girl. So we have 3 people in the adventure currently, and I've really enjoyed it so far. So one of the nice things, like I was saying earlier, is I mean, I'm not the most verbose person, but I do enjoy being able to kind of like write out a rather large response, a couple paragraphs about what I think or what is happening. And I know that I would struggle to have this kind of detail. I would really struggle to have this kind of detail in a regular adventure at the table. But when I have the time to write out my responses, then I don't. I have way more interesting things to say. So, anyways, it says here, after being attacked in the forest, the party speaks with the young man at the front counter of the general store. He appears no more than 15 years of age, human, and not too open to talking to strangers. The people outside the establishment explain that the boy is keeping the store running in the absence of his parents and sister, and because of this, it is his first time taking on a responsibility. So, he greets you in an awkward way and lets you know that he has some water in a barrel if you're thirsty. Again, I just like that. I thought that was kind of a silly detail to add in, but I was like, how do you offer water to people in the medieval times? Did they have water in a barrel, or how would they do it? It's like, yeah, let's do that. Because it's just like, who wants to drink water out of a barrel? I don't know anyone that really wants to, but it's something, right? The shop is a single-story building of timber and brick walls with human wrought iron furnishings. and it is well lit by glowing gemstones set into the ceiling. A very homely place, and there are seats by a fireplace and racks of items and goods all along the walls. Like bobbing for apples, but there's no apples. Yeah, right? Yeah, and then among the common travel items found in the player's handbook. So again, I'm letting them in 7 months. Whew. Yeah, it's been a while. So because we are playing Dungeons and Dragons, I'm assuming that everyone has reference to the player's handbook, so I can freely assign or tell people where to go for certain things. And because we're at the shop, then you can go to this page on the player's handbook. Normally I would have someone else do that for me, but because I had the free time, I could just do all the research myself, and I don't feel like I can do all the research and don't feel like I have to be rushed, you know. So it's great if you ever feel like you're rushed as a dungeon master. In this way, you don't really have to feel that way, so that's pretty cool. From mountains, Silverton, yeah. I remember that. I remember when you were coming in through the mountains. That was pretty cool, dude. And then I have these notable exceptions of items, and the way that I constituted these magical items or special items with their prices was I went to a website that you guys might know about. If you don't, I will share that with you. This is an incredible resource, and if you have any interest in Dungeons and Dragons, you should go visit this. It's dunjon, donjon.sh. Let's see if it'll find it. Oh, that's not right. Let's see here. Type in Donjon. It's okay. It's don.b.bin.sh. So let's see if that'll. Here we go. Let's see if that will There we go. That's the link that you would want to go. You want to probably save that. So we go over here to this website. Go over to 5th edition right here. Then it has all kinds of 5th edition information. And then what I would recommend you do is you go to the random magic shop generator. This is one of my favorite things about this website. This in particular, but there's a ton of awesome stuff to click around on. Then I selected a village. Bros, I watched this even though I'm not agreeing. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it, dude. This little tips that I've picked up along the way, then you can take them or leave them. So like, we're going to a village, and then you select the type of shop. So I did a trader shop. Yeah, there's a Ruby team generator too. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I actually think it's kind of neat. Anyways, so I picked this trader option. And then it automatically creates a location for it. It automatically creates a shop description, and it even describes a shopkeeper. So I didn't use this section because I already had the kid in mind, but I used this description, and then I just simply copied all these items and pasted them. And of course, they're always random, and they're pulling from different books. So you have Dungeon Master Guide, the Ring of Mind Shielding, DMG, Potion of Healing, DMG. Yeah, these are all Dungeon Master items. And of course, I am pretty terrible. You want it, like, as a Dungeon Master, do you know how long it would take for me to just write up all this stuff and put it into a store? It would take forever. And I wouldn't have a good spread of affordable and interesting items. So instead of me doing that, this instead, it's a great way to produce magical items for your players to purchase or steal or whatever, add them into your world without having to do all the work of like, I guess one thing might suck about it is you have less control over what the players have, I guess, and maybe there's like some narrative ideas about some of these magical items, but I kind of feel like the magic items kind of like they kind of sell themselves, you know? So you have a spell scroll, Zone of Truth, spell scroll, Shield of Faith, Bring a mind reading potion. Anyway, so you get the idea. So that's what I did. I copied some of those items, right? So that's there. And then what happened next is Ellis, who's an NPC that is kind of leading. Nice for rogues to know that there's an option of or steal. Well, anyone can steal anything. It's just a matter of getting caught, you know. So, Ellis, after sitting in the room for a moment, brings out a box he took with him, and he gives everyone some money to purchase items at the General Inn. Then, once they're done talking about what they're gonna buy, and understanding that the kid is the son of this lady Carowin of the general store, and she is presumably missing. What's going on, Pidyago? How you doing? Welcome back. Love that little dragon badge, little dinosaur badge. Yeah, we are just talking about how to play D&D through text, and that's what we're doing. And as you've noticed too, as I've been doing, oh yeah, yep. Glad. Yeah, I know you were in here. Yeah, I take a little snippets of pictures too from the internet. So all I do in order to get the pictures, I just open up I type snip into the search bar of Windows 10, and then with a snip and sketch tool, I Google like things that I want the people to see. So in this instance, I wanted some kind of like fantasy shop. So I found that on Google, and then I just snipped it. You know, I snipped it, and let's see if I can get a little bigger option. Yeah. And that's kind of how I do that. Nothing too crazy, but I think that the breaking up the text a little bit every now and then, every paragraph or two, with a couple pictures really does help with the readability of what's going on. Because one thing you don't want to do is like this. Look at that. I didn't add any pictures in here, and that is really dry, not fun to read. So I think whenever you can add in a couple pictures, that helps a lot too. Anyways, they go shopping. Then, let's see here. It reads, Ellis and the group move on to the town hall and request an audience with the mayor, Werner Lang. After some time, he comes out from an office, and the whole building has seen better days, but being in the windy fields and mountain range, it is a weather-worn frontier and people. So he comes out with a nobleman's demeanor, and he accepts the letter and packages that Alice and Naxel have provided, and he thanks Vorseth and Traveler, these are the two characters that are in our adventure, for protecting the wagon, and mutters to himself. Werner explains that he is happy for receiving the letter, apparently having to do with nobility and legality issues of the land in Luskan that Werner has purchased. So again, some like back-end stuff that the players are not really privy to. He recently has made deals to make Oakenfirst a more traveled area, so he's trying to like increase the life of the city. After receiving the news about Carowin and the rest, he seems less certain that it will draw more travel if there are goblins attacking people on the highway. So you can already begin to see the problem that the mayor is having, and the problem is that he wants more people to come to his town and to generate more wealth for his people and for himself, obviously. The trouble with it is that the general owner of the wagon got attacked on the way to Luskan, and how could they even attract people if they can't even protect their business owners? So, and the families and everything else. It's a small town, right? So now you can see the dilemma. Now, he says here, he admits that if the party would choose, the whole town would value an investigation into the mountains where these goblins have been attacking from. It is a dangerous journey, and Werner will pay them to have them removed. And he adds that if they can find the family and reunite with them, the family that was missing from the wagon, and reunite them with the boy at the general store, not only will they get paid, but they would be seen as town heroes. Then the mayor is speaking two of the town guards and the jailer. Then as the mayor is speaking, two of the town guards and the jailer walk into the room. And then it's a quote here. Mayor, our full report is on your desk. We need you to resolve this issue or our town will not stand much longer under your leadership. So not only does the mayor have his own plans, but he also has the pressure of the people. So I feel like that kind of helps bring a little bit of realism into it. It's not that this mayor has no responsibilities. He's just like some power hungry guy. Like, yeah, he does want power, but he also has his own issues that are pressing in on him, and he needs to figure out a way to resolve them. So I kind of wanted to put that in there for him as well. I always want, like, everyone has a motivation, so no matter. Yeah, I think that's, yeah, of course, because if his people aren't safe, then he won't have the power to do what he wants to do, right? Like, because they'll kick him out. They'll find someone else to take on the leadership role. So for myself, at least, every NPC that I put into the story, and I've already put in like 6 or 7 NPCs. Everyone has a goal. Everyone has a mission or desire, and as long as that is driving them, then it is a lot easier to write them as a character. So, anyways, the jailer has motivations. The town guards have motivations. The mayor has motivations. Ellis and Naxel have motivations. So, you know. Okay. The mayor is looking sternly, motions them to leave, but before they leave, Werner calls out one of the guards. Turk, I need to speak with you for a moment. So this is Silver Girl's character, and I was like, she just got in here, so I was like, well, I gotta figure out a way to add her in from the town, and I believe that she was a human fighter. Like, well, that makes perfect sense. I could have her be a guard from this little town of Oakenfirst, and now the mayor can send off one of the guards to go on this adventure with the party, and it feels totally seamless, right? Pretty proud of that. So it says here, the mayor explains that he wants to send off the party to investigate, but he also wants to show that he's putting something into the pot to make sure that the town also gets credit for freeing Oakenfirst from these goblins and strange plant attacks. Therefore, Kirk is to aid in this adventure. Fanfare music. Lastly, Werner explains that these attacks have all really started after a stranger came to town about 3 months ago selling apple seeds and other horticultural items. He doesn't know how that might help, but seems to think that it might be linked to many strange happenings. So with that, party is informed. What does it do? And then, of course, I end it with this section here. So whenever I say the sentence, what do you do, or what does the party do, that's your cue as a adventurer to write up a paragraph or two about what your character thinks, what your character wants to say to any of the other people in the room, or the adventure, where you want to go, what you want to buy, want to haggle, all that kind of stuff. And that's kind of like I've put in other sections of the adventure, like, you have about this much amount of time before nightfall. What would you like to do, right? So if you can fill up the time with different actions for your hero, then that gives me room to kind of like explain what happens in each individual encounter. So it's a different, like I said, it's a little bit like watching a caterpillar squirm up and then go out, squirm up and then go out. So like every time, like, I'm like, here, this is the story, you need to go out this far, and then I'll tell the story for that section, and then we're back same spot again. So you're a cue to say what you do. I feel like you're trying to tell me something. Well, I mean, it is for whoever I mean, I guess technically, yeah, since you are in the adventure, but it really is just, in general, that's the idea, right? So yeah. So anyways, you can see here everyone responds with these different things. So this traveler is going to buy the spell scroll from the store. Silver Girl says Turk walks over to the party with his right hand and holding the back of his neck. As his eyes downcast, he's clearly uncomfortable being asked, more like commanded, to join your party. And he says, "I'm Turk. What's your names?" And Vorseth to Turk, "The name's Vorseth." All right, great. So I respond here with this last little section, and then we're about to start this story here. So the mayor browbeats Turk into helping the other adventurers. We can skip that section. They're gonna organize a search party, but the mayor doesn't believe that it's gonna really produce much, and he doesn't think that it's really going to satisfy people. So he's really hoping that the adventurers will go into the mountainous area and hopefully find the goblin camp, and then hopefully rescue Carowin and the husband and daughter so that they can be restored and people can be happy, right? And I even snipped a little picture of what the governor looks like. Again, same process of just snipping. So now we have here to Turk, "You can call me Traveler," and to the mayor, "What can you tell us about this seed peddler?" So what we're going to do here is we're going to open up a Word document. The reason we're going to open up a Word document is that it is way harder if we are just in this Discord section. It's way harder to edit. I make all kinds of typing mistakes also, so when you put it into a Word document first, you have the benefit of the spell checker. You also have the benefit of there's a limit on how much you can type into a text section in Discord. So in this regard, there's no limit for a Word document, so we're gonna take full advantage of that. So we're gonna respond with, "You may call me Traveler." So Turk says, Traveler says to Turk, "You can call me Traveler." So they're exchanging names. Mayor says, "What can you tell us about this seed peddler?" So we're gonna say here, Traveler asks the mayor about the seed peddler. Let's see if we can get this a little bit bigger for you guys. A little bit bigger for you guys, yeah? About the seed peddler from 2 months ago, and wonders what connections could be made from it. Mayor responds that, not knowing all the events of that time, man came selling apples that he claimed would heal the sick and cure the blind. The apples never grew stale, and he claimed that we could plant them in the ground and have the magical apples for our own for a price. That's kind of a weird way of writing that sentence, yeah? The apples never grew stale, blah 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 blah. Let's zoom out here so I can see the whole thing. Okay, let's see. The apples never grew stale, and he Never grew stale. Let's just put a period there. Get rid of and. Claim that we could plant the seeds instead of them. For our own, right? Yeah, there we go. But we paid him handsomely after seeing the effects from people eating the apples. But once he left, the seeds sprouted and goblins in the night came and ripped out the plants from the soil. Again, nothing like... I think if I spent a little bit more time here, I could make it a little bit more interesting to read, but still, I think this is a pretty cool bad guy. He sells these these seeds, but basically just a guy. It's okay. We talk shop. Born with faith, turned away for many years watching vid of Father Cedric Pisenga. I don't know who Father Cedric Pisenga is, but I'm more than willing to talk about matters of faith if that's what you're thinking about. Friar. Okay, sorry, Friar. Yeah. I mean, I'm not a Catholic, but I still have some understandings and whatnot. Grew up in a Catholic home, so, you know. I'm going to continue focusing on this while you tell me more about what you're thinking about. So this dude sells these seeds, and then... oh, you're Baptist? Okay. Okay, yeah, I'm Baptist as well. I'm Southern Baptist, so... that's good. So what does the friar have to say then? Unless if the friar turned away for many years. I'm not sure if I understand exactly, so... We paid him handsomely after seeing the effects from people eating the apples, but once he left, let's put a semicolon here, the seeds sprouted and goblins came in the night and ripped out the plants from the soil. Now we are out of money. Our town is terrorized like never before. And me too. His vids are about living faith and passion. Oh, awesome! Very cool. Yeah, I love this one Catholic guy on YouTube. I really like. I don't remember his name, but I think he's one of the smarter guys on YouTube, and definitely a smart Catholic guy. I've enjoyed what he has to say. I don't agree with him on Catholicism at all, but you know, is what it is. Now we are out of money. Our town is terrorized like never before, and to top it off, our general store is in tatters with the family missing, with the owners missing. The owners missing. From what you have told me, I think we should start by the abandoned wagon and maybe look for tracks. I'm willing to bet. Nope, that's bed. That it will bring us to the to the culprits. Let's go. Yeah, culprit sounds better. Okay, so that's a pretty wordy, but that is the response to Traveler. Let's see now what the next person said on their section. Kirk says, I will help to the mayor. He asks to confirm the rest of the that the rest of the party is staying at the Old Owl Inn, and he lets them know that he will be back to the inn before nightfall where he will meet them to determine a plan. He turns to go find Alice, and he wants to ask what were his mom and sister wearing the day they went missing. So, as we described earlier, she meant to say here the kid, not Alice. So let's see here. So we'll just say here, Kirk interrupts the mayor and explains that he will begin preparing for the expedition and leaves. Then Kirk heads over to the general store and speaks with the young lad about his family. Starting life kinda over. Never understood fully being washed away. New life begins. Are you talking about your new life in Christ? Or just life in general? Did you like pick up and move to a new town? It's kind of what I've had to do in the past little bit of time. Yeah. Well, that's good news, man. Takes a lot of commitment to do that kind of stuff, you know. Pick up and let the old man go and take on a new life in Christ. So it's encouraging, you know. Don't get to hear that very often. Especially with me and my kids, it's always a daily struggle to know exactly how to convey my faith with my kids all the time, you know. And have them kind of live in my shadow is also kind of challenging since, you know, I preach on Sunday sometimes and went to seminary and did a lot of these things that most guys don't do, you know. But it's been a real blessing to see them grow up and kind of live and breathe in the church family and all that kind of good stuff, and see how the church has come around and loved us. So it's a blessing, man. It's a real blessing. Okay. Oh, you're not taken away, dude. Not at all. Don't worry about it, dude. Not at all. We can walk and chew bubblegum at the same time. I'm glad that you're here and keeping me company, dude. It's half the fun of doing things on Twitch is I got people to talk to. So basically, I guess you can see what the whole idea is, that we're just going to be typing out our responses to all of the different people's actions and then advancing the time and story a little faster. So I think what we're going to do is have everyone, I'm going to advance the story to the morning and then have them off on their adventure, really get them on the road, because I kind of feel like we've spent more than enough time in this town. Everyone has a good idea of what they need to do in the adventure, especially after everything, the info dump I'm going to give here. And yeah, you know, is what it is, yeah? Okay. Let's continue with this Turk section. Then Turk heads over to the general store and speaks with the young lad about his family. He asks him some basic questions about what they were up to and what they were wearing See, is that what she says in the question? Let's see here. What were his mom and sister wearing the day they went missing? What direction did they head? And what was the purpose of them leaving? What route were they planning on taking? Did they have any known enemies I should be aware of? Anyone suspicious coming recently? Anyone else that might be important? My quest. Okay. Jessica says, one easy part is doing everyone's turns at once, said at once. Yeah, exactly. One of the awesome things about doing this through text is that there's the dungeon master's turn, then there's everyone else's turn. So doing it in blocks like that, instead of individual turns like DM, one person, DM, one person, DM, one person, it can get really bogged down. But it is nice to be able to block it all out, and that's been really, it helps move things along really nicely, you know. And you can kind of, and the nice thing too as a DM, I can kind of interweave a lot of the characters together as they talk to one another. So okay, he asked some basic questions about what they were up to and what they were wearing. He doesn't the boy doesn't can't type remember exactly what they were wearing besides basic traveling gear. They are all human and have brown ashen hair. They he explains, see, you gotta get like really good you gotta use some good words to kind of like make it more interesting. Explains that the that his parents were on their way to Luskan to sell some goods and make better and resupply, right? Resupply the store at home for the incoming winter. Okay. Instead of he says this, she says that, could do he says this, she explains that. Yeah. That's why I said explains, because explains is kind of, that way I don't have to type out the actual language of what people are saying, because that's kind of hard for me to do. Sometimes it's helpful, sometimes it isn't. So they are all human and have brown ashen hair. He explains that its parents were on their way to Luskan to sell some goods and resupply a store at home for the incoming winter. It is currently fall. And life on the frontier can be harsh if little preparations have been made. ... Okay. Then we have just the guy here says, Forseth to the mayor, is there any information that will help us find the family? Anything that can help will be good. So we'll go, meanwhile, Forseth asks the mayor, asks Vernon, that's what his name was? Was his name Vernon, the mayor? Let's see here. Vernor. Bernor about the family. About Carowin. Carowin's habits. He responds, "She was a great salesman and family friend." Again, I didn't know that until just now, but kind of pick up these things as you go. I am really saddened by her disappearance. Thing about improvising, yeah. Disappearance, and hope to aid you in any way that I can, but to be perfectly honest, I only can think of retracing your steps and seeking any evidence. Oh, this is a cool song. There. Oh, this is a cool song. I've heard this one before, yeah? Oh, yeah, this is better than that, Marina. I think this is a song from, Arc the Pie King. Yeah, this is a cool one. Okay, so this is where he's going to provide a branching path for you guys. She was a great salesman and family friend. I am truly saddened by her disappearance, and hope to aid you in any way that I can. But to be perfectly honest, I only can think of retracing your steps and seeking any evidence there at the wagon. Then Bernor stops in his pacing and places his hands on his beard and begins to stroke it. Turns from facing the fireplace and speaks again. You might know of a pathway through the mountains that could get you to the goblin camp faster, but it would be dangerous. Then he takes Borseth and Traveler over to a map in the office. And this is all, again, stroke the beard fireplace. Again, all this is improvisation. So one of the cool things about doing this way is it kind of gives, like, I enjoy it as a dungeon master because I can just sit around and think about, well, how can I make this more interesting and not lock up? Because at a table setting, I would really struggle to come up with all this information on the spot right away. It would be really hard. But instead, I can just sit here, talk to you guys, think it out, write up a conversation. I have complete control of what I have mostly complete control of what people say and do. Obviously, I don't want to step on players' actions, but like I'm making them move into the office, right, and listen in. Well, maybe that's not something that maybe they wanted to run away or something. I mean, but just judging by their previous actions, you know, it's makes sense, right? So pretty cool. Then he takes Vorseth and Traveler over to a map in the office room that shows the town and neighboring mountain pass and forested wood. He traces his fingers by a pass not known to most, as it is directly into the mountain pass, skipping the forested passage to the north. Runs out of the office and waits for a report of what's happening. And then here would be a great space, because this is really hard to describe verbally or textually. This is a great place that I think I'm going to have to draw a map for everyone. And then maybe do an A and a B direction. Have it up to a vote for people. And then from there I can just continue with what happens next. So, and then we'll get into some combat more than likely. The craggy path is quicker, as anyone can see, but traveling it would require a more athletic team. There we go. Okay, is that everyone's comments here? I think so, right? Yes, it is. So now after we do that, I'm gonna put a picture here, and then I'm gonna just sum up what goes on here. So let's push the clock forward now. So after the day comes to a close, everyone meets again at the Old Owl Inn, sharing the stories and spoils of the day. Now we're gonna bring back Ellis in here, and Ellis and Naxel. Now Ellis and Naxel are some NPCs in the adventure that got us here. They're not really like part of the party. They were hired to do a job, and they're done. Everyone is done, and they're gonna let Ellis. They're gonna basically let the team know that they can follow Ellis. They can come along back on the wagon with them, or they can take this path through the mountains and not see Ellis or Naxel again. So they can stick with them for a little bit longer, or they can go out on there by themselves. So this will be a big decision, I guess, for the group. And Naxel have enjoyed their stay as well, and have prepared the carriage. Oh, that's not how you spell carriage. There we go. Here we go. For the morning trip back, they want the party to come along with them, but they also understand that if they want the party to come along with them to investigate the broken wagon. There we go. But they also understand that if they drive for the mountain pass, it would be faster and possibly possibly by chance meet the family sooner and rescue. How am I? Basically, what I'm trying to say here is something like, I want them to know that if they take the mountain pass, they have a chance of, you know, saving this family before it's too late, right? They go the other way, back the way they came, it might take too long. So it says here, they want the party to come along with them to investigate the broken wagon, but they also understand that if they drive for the mountain pass, it would be faster, and possibly could lead to a rescue. That's not how you spell rescue. Rescue to an immediate rescue. Let's do that. Okay, that's kind of what I wanted to say. As the party decides and sleeps on the decision, they prepare to set off in the morning. What do you decide to do? Okay, and again, I have set up two basic options here. They can go along on the cart, or they can go along through the mountain pass. But what's unique about this is we are still playing D&D, so if they decide to do something completely different, they can decide to do something completely different, which is totally fine. But that's kind of where my head is there's these two options. I think that is pretty much decently gonna surmise everything that we have here. So now what I do, once I have typed out this whole response, I want to reread it again to make sure that it actually sounds like halfway decent. So a traveler asks the mayor about the seed peddler from the 2 months ago and wonders what connections could be made from it. The mayor responds that not knowing all the events of that time, that's kind of a strange sentence. The mayor responds that instead of that long phrase, the mayor befuddled. There we go. One word. The mayor befuddled responds, a man came selling apples that he claimed would heal the sick and cure the blind. The apples never grew stale. And he claimed that, see here, that's just, A man came selling about 2 months ago. Month's time. Guess that's kind of, I don't think that's what we want. Yeah, there we go. About 2 months' time, a man came selling apples that he claimed would heal the sick and cure the blind. The apples never grew stale, and he claimed that we could plant the seeds in the ground and have the magical apples for our own. And we paid him handsomely after seeing the effects from people eating the apples. But once he left, the seeds sprouted and goblins in the night came and ripped out the plants from the soil. Now we are out of money, our town is terrorized like never before, and to top it off, our general store is in tatters with the owners missing. From what you have told me about the forested path and wagon. Okay, let's go with Carowin's wagon. Carowin, just so we can be absolutely clear about this. Carowin, there we go. From what you have told me about the forest path, let's just go with Carowin's wagon. Well, Carowin's wagon, I think we should start by the abandoned wagon. Should start by tracking the abandoned wagon. Maybe look, let's go there. Okay, I think we should start tracking the abandoned area. I'm willing to bet that it will bring us to the culprits. Okay, they are a much better way to write that, yeah? Meanwhile, Vorseth asks Werner about Carowin's habits. He responds, she was a great salesman. Let's go with saleswoman. And family friend. I'm truly saddened by her disappearance and hope to aid you in any way that I can. But let's go with ... But to be perfectly honest, I can only think of retracing your steps and seeking any evidence at the wagon. Well, back at the town hall. There we go. Vorseth asks Vernon about Carowin's habits. Man, that's a lot of names. Then capitalize that. Then Werner stops in his pacing and places his hands on his beard and begins to stroke. Turns from facing the fireplace. The crackling. Let's add the crackling. And speaks again. I might know of a pathway through the mountains that could get you to Goblin Camp faster, but it would be dangerous, and there is no guarantee that it exists. There. Then he takes Vorseth and Traveler over to the map in the office room, shows the town, neighboring mountain pass, and the forested wood. He traces his fingers by a pass not known to most, as it heads directly into the mountain pass from Oakenfirst. There we go. That really brings it all together for us. So skipping the thereby skipping the forested passage to the northwest, we'll say. The craggy path is quicker as anyone can see. The craggy path to it would be to the west, is quicker as anyone can see, but traveling it would require a more athletic team. So, after the day comes to a close, everyone meets again at the Old Owl Inn, sharing the stories and spoils of the day. Ellis and Axel have enjoyed their stay in Oakenfirst as well, and have prepared the carriage for the morning trip back. They want the party to come along with them to investigate the broken wagon, but they also understand if they let's go with if they desire the mountain pass. They trek the mountain pass. There we go. Yeah, I just changed it. It was not right, so. But they also understand that if they also understand there's that if the track of the mountain pass is more desirous. There we go. That was what I was looking for. Okay. It would be faster, and it could possibly lead to an immediate rescue. As the party decides and sleeps on that decision, they prepare to set off in the morning. What do you decide to do? Okay. Jeez, that took forever, but now what we're going to do is we have all this, so now we're going to add a picture in here, add a picture in here, picture in here, picture in here. Maybe like 2 or 3 pictures. So let's go to Google. Hero. Okay, sweet. So this first paragraph was we want to have a example of tracking D&D. Maybe we can find some images of someone tracking something. Let's see here, tracking. Tracking. What would you say? Ranger? There we go. This is what we're looking for. Perfect. That one's in kind of snow. I don't really want a snowing tracking. Maybe. No, that's. Here we go. This is what we're looking for. Tracking. That's kind of what we're looking for. Let's snip that. Copy that. Tracking powers activate. Let's add that picture in here. We got that picture in here. Now we have Turk interrupts the mayor and talks to. They want. And he takes her at the general store. Okay, let's have a kid talking. Kid talking D&D. That's not exactly what we're looking for. Shop owner? Okay, there we go. Look at that. No, that's not it. That's not what we want. So maybe just kid D&D. There we go. Perfect. Now we can just copy that kid. Oh wait, this is even better. All right, let's take this kid here. I like him. Okay, so we add that in here. Okay, then we have meanwhile back in town. No, here I want to we want to add in the map. So what we need to do for this particular section of the map is we need to actually get the real map. So let's go over to my map of the Forgotten Realms. That's going to be over here in images, I think. Nope. Core set. No. Third-party modules. Is that where it is? Forgotten Realms. Come on now. Where did I put it? Module. Here it is. A Sword Coast map, high resolution. Okay. So this is the Forgotten Realms here. Okay. And you guys are all the way up here. It's glitching Genshin over here. Oh, nice. This is where you guys are currently. You guys are currently right here. So let's snip this section here. Snip. So now that we have that, let's draw a little house here. Oh, we need a red pen. Okay, this is the town right here, yeah? Now we're gonna change the color of this path. Back to Luskan. And this is where the old, we're gonna select this as the A path. And then possibly we're gonna find something right there in this Blackford Crossing. Okay, then we have this section, which is gonna be the pathway 2, which will, I guess, we'll make it a bright. We'll make it a bright purplish. But it's directly into Mount Hateno. And the governor seems to think that that is probably where the goblins are coming from. Oh, but you know what? I didn't make that a dashed line, though. Let's erase that. Okay, I think that kind of helps surmise the pathway, yeah? Get this little blue circle around this A. Okay, sweet. We also want a circle. We want a purple circle around that question mark here. Gauntlgrim. It's kind of a cool name, Gauntlgrim. Alright, so we copied that. Now, let's paste that into our Word doc. Okay, sweet. Okay, so that kind of clears that section up. Now what I want to do is add, instead of it, we're gonna add this. I want a pathway through the mountains. What was it? I want to add in this some of these words here: Mount Hateno and Blackford Crossing. So let's go with. Blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna do here path A. There we go. And runner stops, blah, 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 but there's no guarantee that exists there. And this is going to be path B. Okay, sweet. Actually, we're gonna cut that. And then we're going to add that right here. Sweet. Okay, sweet. So again, that took a while, an hour and a half, but in general, it doesn't take this long usually to do an adventure. But some of these parts I had to describe out to you guys, and obviously, I can do this probably in like half hour or so. So yeah, it does take a little bit of time, but I don't know. I had fun, you know. I had fun doing it. That's all that really matters to me. As long as I'm having fun, then it's worth doing. Back in this. Let's add in black for what's here? Steps in the Blackford Crossing. At the Blackford Crossing. Sweet. Now we're actually using some of the terms from the map itself. And the map of the town neighborhood, mountain pass. And then the mobile pass. Forest the path is the northwest. Directly into Mount Hateno, yeah? And now into Gauntlgrim. And there we go. Now, to be perfectly honest with you, I have no idea what Gauntlgrim is, but it sounds cool. So let's suppose that the mayor thinks that Gauntlgrim might be the real culprit here. That might be, let's see here. Let's just do a quick Google on Gauntlgrim before we decide anything on that. Before we make any quick decisions. Gauntlgrim. Just check out what it is. Okay. The city was built on a massive scale with many doors large enough that even dragons could pass through them. Doorways were constructed from iron, mithril, and stone. These doors were designed to open Elzen. Okay. It was lost for centuries. The city was alleged by the north of blah 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 blah. Yeah, okay. After the last conflict between gods and Jesus. Lithid rule. Waking of the Primordial. Okay, so it looks like an adventure location, yeah? Okay, sweet. So this would be an excellent place to drop the Citadel then. All right, sweet. Oh yeah. Okay, the craggy path to the southwest. Okay, let's see here. Then he takes Vorseth and travel over to the map in the office room and then shows the town and neighboring mountain pass and forested wood. He traces his fingers by a pass not known to most as it heads directly into the mountains from Oakenfirst, thereby skipping the forested passage to the northwest and directly into Gauntlgrim and Mount Hateno. Mayor seems to think that the goblins are hiding out in the hangout are hidden in its cliffs. Let's just do that, yeah? There we go. Okay, that's gonna be everything that we want for this particular section, so. Ooh, that was a long one, man. That was long, but we did it, guys. And we did it all without rolling any dice, sadly. We'll start rolling dice in a little bit, though. In a couple days. It's probably tomorrow. We'll see. Okay, well, with that being said, let's copy it over. So now that we have all this section typed out, ready to go, we have our document. Now what we're going to do is we're going to X that section. And we are going to go back to our text adventure side. And we're going to... Oh, we're just about to paste a story, dude. So you can read through this, think on it, and then respond. So we're going to paste that in. And then we're going to copy this picture here. I'm going to paste that. It's great because it all comes in one at a time, you know? And then we're going to copy the next section in. It's great because it all comes in one little download, you know? And I'll wait in the morning and see what they say. And like I said, because this is in the Word document, it's very, very helpful for me to check my spelling and all that good garbage. We're going to copy this side, paste that over here. Copy this picture. And sweet. Alrighty. That is the whole thing, dude. So we have everything that we just wrote out in the Discord. And that will allow, that was at 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 paragraphs. So I think it's pretty helpful. A mouthful. And now what we're going to get into in the next leg of the adventure will be a lot more combat, a lot more interesting things and dynamics of that nature. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the show. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to me to see more cool things about how to play D&D through text. I'll let you guys know how it's going in the future. you know. Yeah, I'm thinking this might be a YouTube video. That's why I said that, just a guy. So there we go. Yes, I'm probably gonna cut this up, clip it up, make it real easy for people to digest in a YouTube format. So yeah, I had a really great time making this video, and you know, I guess next time, if you guys like this, I'll show you how to run a combat scenario so that you don't have to feel like you're just stuck doing story bits, but you can also do combat too. So combat is going to take on its own little challenges, and I'm still learning, so you know, we'll see as we go. But I think the first combat that we did went pretty well, and I have a feeling that it'll go even better as we continue to gain better experience with doing it through text, you know? So yeah, so okay, dude, that was a buttload of stuff. Got another picture here from you. Well, that's cool. I don't know who that is yet, but that's pretty cool. And we got some music. Yep. So anyways, guys, if you would like to join in the adventure and hang out, you can feel free to do that by just joining the Discord. So don't miss out on that. And as always, try to put out a video every week, but that's been very challenging. We'll see. Lumine, the twin of Aether in Genesis. Oh, okay. Very cool. Very cool. Very cool. So I guess we should play a game now, dude. You want to play some Mortal Kombat?